Good day, everyone. My name is Nomfundo Ntenga. I'm a wife and a mother of two beautiful girls, one is Nomfundo and Olubanzi. I work as a financial manager in projects and fixed assets. I'm a qualified CA by profession. I enjoy doing numbers, but somewhere in my studies I learned that accounting is not just numbers. At this point in my life, I think I'm ready to look or even follow my passion in terms of I enjoy doing accounting in terms of the work that I'm currently doing, but I think I would thrive better in a lecturing environment. So I want to lecture, I want to train the young ones that still want to come into the profession. I want to mentor. So I've been a lecturer before and I really enjoy that environment. So I think in the next few years, I'm going to pave my way into a university or a learning and development department, so I can be more in the training and learning department, because that is my passion. Do I think women have superpowers? Yes. Some we know it, some we don't. Some we do it without understanding that it's a superpower, but we are all gifted with one, if not more. And it's a challenge, but once you step into it and you know what it is and you use it to your advantage. Recently I've learned that mine is basically staying calm. I applied at work, I applied with my children to say don't panic, but just take things as they come and try by all means, even in the middle of the storm, to stay calm. It's not easy, but for me it's something that I think I've had to practice for a while, and I've realized that when I'm calm then I can think. So it's like I don't allow myself to panic, because should I panic, I feel like I'm not going to be able to think. I'll just make an example. One of the days at school, they called me panicking. Teachers on some, come, get Olubanzi. She inserted something in her nose, and everyone, there was screaming and shouting everywhere. And by the time I get to school, my brain was like, okay, what's going on? So I was thinking, hospital, what do I do? And I get to the school while the teachers are freaking out. I realized Olu is also screaming. And when I took her, I just held her. I was like, it's okay, talk to me, what's going on? So as much as I got the story from the teachers and they're screaming and everything, when I took the child, she also understood my energy. She became more calm. And then after that, I asked her what happened, and she was like, no, there's something in my nose. And I got her in the car, strapped her in, and it was like, okay, what do I do now? So the next thing I remembered, one of the ladies that I'm going to see now is actually a doctor. So I called her, like, friend, what do I do? This is the situation. And she was like, no, go to the chemist and get some tweezers. And I'm like, okay, let's go get tweezers. And I was calm, and then I realized, no, Olu, now that she's with me and I'm calm, she's also calm. She stopped crying, and we went to the pharmacy while talking, and we started talking through the situation, got the tweezers paid, and we went to where we were supposed to go, because the doctor was there. And when we got there, basically she removed that thing with tweezers in my boot. So basically with that, I learned that you think better when you're calmer than if you panic, because had I panicked that day, I probably would have ended up in the emergency room trying to get that thing out of her nose. So the following day, the teachers asked me, like, what did you do? They were still in that panic, I think because they're scared, it's an incident, it's a safety incident basically for the kids. And I'm like, no, she had something in her nose and we took it out. And she's like, you didn't take it to the doctor? I'm like, guys, it's okay. Such things happen with kids. But then honestly, I think I panic after the situation. And while in the storm, I'm able to stay calm and deal with it to say what can be done about it, what are the possible solutions. So I'm able to just stay calm and not panic in the moment, so that I can be able to think of the solutions and think of a way forward. So I think that for me is a superpower, apart from the one that I learned recently to say, back home they used to call me lazy, because domestically, I'm not the greatest, but mainly because I always found an easier way to do things. So basically the way my brain works is the fact that when I'm handed a task, basically I think, what is the end goal? Why am I doing it? So I always find an easy way to do it. So it didn't always work very well at home, because now the job will be done, but it's done much quicker. When you grow up with the grannies from back in the days, like when you work, you must work the whole day. So I took that with me in everything that I do, even in my studies. Basically, it was find a more efficient way of doing things. And so that has become my superpower, even in my work, even when I need to study. It's like, find a quicker way of doing things. It's not really shortcuts, it's just effective ways to say, at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing and I've reached the goal, but a more efficient way of doing it. Because I'm not the type that is going to study for the whole day. But then it's just one of those things to say, I'm able to stay calm, and I find more efficient ways of doing things. Advice that I would give to my younger self will first start with slow down. There is no rush. Take your time into everything, in everything you're doing. Stop rushing yourself. Stop thinking, the world is falling apart. Because at that time I had these very ambitious goals and everything, but now it had to be reached at a certain point in time. And looking back, the goals were reached. It's just some of it took longer, some of it came with challenges, and I got to learn through those challenges. Like the person I am right now is far much better than the person I would have been if everything was reached at the time I had set. So it would be slow down, don't be too hard on yourself. I was hard on myself. When I failed, I never took it very well. So in my life, it was like, you're not supposed to fail. So it took me a while to learn to say, when you have failed, forgive yourself, start again. There's an opportunity to start again. So that part of being hard on myself, that was heavy. So if I could, I would go back and tell Nomfundo, girl, it's okay. Start again. You have the opportunity, you have the time, you don't need to rush yourself. And also the verse in the Bible to say all things work together for your good. So if I could, I think that would be one verse I would quote for little Nomfundo, to say the good and the bad, they are there for your good. They work together for your good, to say they are building you up. They are cultivating some strengths in you, some lessons in you. If everything went smooth, I would not be as resilient as I am right now. So I would say, take your time, enjoy every stage of your life, and live in the moment. Do not postpone your happiness, like celebrate yourself, celebrate your achievements. And every milestone matters, and know that at the right time, God will make it happen. God will make it happen, because at the end of the day, it's not all about me, but it's also about God's plan in my life. So I was very hard on myself while growing up. I never celebrated, because every time you reach a goal, it's like, then there's the next one, then there's the next one, And I had a plan. My plan was too perfect. But through life, I normally say the university of life coming to humble me. I had to learn to say certain things will not happen at the time I have planned. But a delay is not denial, to say that it may be delayed, it may not have been at the perfect time, but at the end of the day, I reached that goal. So yeah, my younger self was very hasty. But now I would say live in the moment, enjoy, and in the challenge, praise God in it. Don't feel bad, don't be depressed, but find the joy in it and find the lesson, to say do not miss the classroom moment in every situation, to say this is what you're supposed to learn here. Financial hacks. Oh wow. That's an interesting one, because I also need to apply that, because wow guys, this economy is very challenging. I think the first one would be, you need to be realistic with your financial status. We like, how does my friend say it, we want a wow life with a more salary. So basically, it's okay to dream, it's okay to want things, but in the moment you need to be realistic with the income that you have. You need to be realistic with the expenses that you have. You need to be realistic with your financial status. We understand there's things that we want, but things are currently very tough. So I would say, firstly, please have a realistic budget. So we have budgets sometimes, but in the budgeting, we're not realistic. There's things we don't budget. We don't budget for the money for bread. We don't budget for the money that we give to car guards and the parkings at the mall. Those are things that you never really see on our budget. But at the end of the day, when you count that money, it's quite significant. I found that actually the money that I use as cash is the one that disappears, and there's no record of what happened with it. And I think that's where some of the things, they are just falling off the cracks, to say at the end of the day, that's not on my budget. I have the money, but it's gone in a split second. So there's that. And also live within your means. Live within your means. Understand what you can and cannot afford. Go back to understanding what are your needs and what are your wants, because we need to prioritize our needs and make sure they are covered. There's things as women that we want to meet, but they are not really needs. So where you can cut off, do cut off, and do not be afraid to lower your standards. I think we are at a stage now where we are older. You understand life is not about abantu bazothini. You need to be realistic with your current situation. Be realistic, because now the interest rates are high. Food and everything is expensive. Like going to the grocery shop, till this day it humbles me to say, wow, you can buy one bag but for more than 500 rand. And that tells you that everything is expensive. So we need to be realistic about that. Inflation is quite high. We don't get as much increases as the inflation rate. So basically our money is getting lesser and lesser in terms of how we can use it every year, because our increases that we get from work and looking at the inflation, sometimes it does not really talk to each other. So basically it means the money that you have, being able to use it. So if I had 500 rand last year, maybe I could buy certain things, but if I have 500 rand this year, after a certain percentage of inflation, that 500 rand can no longer buy the items that I used to be able to buy in the prior. So we need to understand that. We need to understand the interest rates, how it affects you, because it affects everyone. So when we hear that the interest rate is up by 0.5 basis point, we need to understand what that is. So we need to take time and invest in understanding what the finances mean to us, or how it affects your life, because it will affect your bond, it will affect a loan if you have a loan. Even the credit card interest rate is affected by that adjustment to the repo rate. So we need to be and we need to take time to understand all those and how they impact us. So yeah, it's a tough economy. It's very tough financially. We have seen that. Do not be afraid to downgrade or change the shops that you go to buy from, basically, because certain shops are a bit more expensive. Sometimes we have to compromise on quality, and yeah, choose the things. Certain privileges that you used to be able to afford, you may not be able to afford. But it's really, really important to live within your means. And if you have debt, where possible, pay back the debt as quick as possible. Because now you'll be saving on interest. With these high interest rates, we need to save on the interest. So if you can pay back debt, pay it back as soon as you can. So the crux of everything is be realistic about the money that you have, what you can and cannot afford, and have a realistic budget. What made me cry, laugh till I cried recently. A story, something that happened basically a few days back. I was going to the shops with Olu, my 4-year-old daughter, and we go to the shop to buy what we needed, and we come back to the car, pack the car, and then in taking the trolley to where it should go, Olu decides to walk off with a certain guy that greeted her. I'm like, Olu, that's a stranger. You can't walk with a stranger. And then she goes up the escalators, and I follow her now. And then as soon as we got up, then we had to return back down. Basically look like we're playing on the escalators, but you can't blame me. I'm walking with a 4-year-old, so that happens. So when we get to the car, I'm having the conversation. Olu, you cannot go with strangers without your parents. And she's like, I'm like, what if they steal you? And she's like, but mommy, I'll call the police. And I'm like, Olu, how do you call the police? And she says 911. I'm like, Olu, 911 in South Africa. How do you call 911 in South Africa? So as I'm laughing at her, she doesn't understand why am I laughing, but I'm sitting and I'm laughing at myself on how does this child think of 911. And I remember a joke that was made to say, South Africa tried 911 with 10,111, and that one did not work out, because when you call 10,111, they go, where are you? How can we help you? To say it's not as effective as 911 in America. You realize, oh no, these kids, they are so attached to the things that they watch, which is basically your YouTube, which is mostly American shows that they're interested in. And I'm like, how? So in my head, I'm busy laughing. You're calling 911. Who is 911? And in my head, what happens even when you call 911 in South Africa? And then it comes in my head. There was an educational part to it, to say, firstly, the kids know the emergency number to call in South Africa if they're in a situation of like, but you don't even have a phone to call. How will you know? Like, how will you call? So it was a lot of laughter in my head. And yeah, man, the part that got to me though, which was a lesson, is the fact that I need to also learn and teach the kids to say, during an emergency, what do you do? When you find yourself in a situation, what do you do? So it's an educational thing and realization to say, kids just know 911 because that's what they see on TV and that's what they watch. And in South Africa, we have 10,111. I'm not sure how effective or efficient it is, but yeah. So it's an opportunity for me to teach her. But it was funny that she just thought of 911 should she be stolen, but she doesn't even have a phone. Being a girl mom, what has that taught me? Oh wow, that's a very broad question. But being a mom generally has taught me quite a lot. It's a very critical job. And my most important one at this point in my life, because it teaches me so much. Every day there's a new lesson, there's a new task at hand, there's a new challenge. But with that comes the joys, the loves, the hugs, the little kisses, the love that I experience with them. So the first thing that I learned is the one day at a time. To say, I think more like one day at a time. What is required of me today? Because when I think of maybe a week or the whole plan for the month that they should have, I feel overwhelmed. So I take the task to think what day at a time, what is required tomorrow, what do I need to do to prepare for tomorrow, what can I do now? And other days, because they have so many things in between the two of them, I have to literally break it to one task at a time. And with that also, understand that I'm doing my best. All my kids know I'm the best mom they know, because there's no other mom. I am the mom, so I need to play my role the best way that I can, to say you don't have to compare yourself to the other mom. You don't have to think the other mom does this better than me, but sometimes the kids do that to you, to say, but whoever's mom does this and all of that. But you just need to find contentment in the fact that I am doing my best, I am doing what I can, and capitalize on your strengths. Because also as a mom, you learn that there's things I'm strong at, there's things I'm not so strong at, and where you are not strong, where you can find solutions, go find solutions. I'll make an example. Excuse me. I realized that I'm not good at helping with homework. I really struggle with that, with teaching my kids, so I cannot be mom the teacher. So basically, I've tried to get in tutors with my eldest daughter Wendy. So I really struggle with that. She's very opinionated, and she's got a strong character, and yeah, she had a bit of challenges. And I realized that if I'm here and I'm teaching her, we end up fighting, because now the fights, they vary. It's from how teacher is always correct and you are wrong, and to the fact that, but that's not how we did it in class, and all of that. So ideally for me, she was supposed to just be independent and do everything and know everything in school, that I don't have to intervene. But I noted that there was challenges that needed interventions that teachers maybe did not have capacity to fix. So it needed to be fixed at home, but between me and her, it was not working out. So I had to incorporate someone to help. Yes, it costs money, but it's better that at least she gets that help, and still now I can concentrate on mommy and daughter relationship. So yeah, it's one of those things to say, understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and it's okay to have weaknesses, and where you can get help, where you can delegate that task, please do. And then understand that if you fail today, you have a chance to try again tomorrow. So the days don't always go as perfect. Simple things like getting ready in the morning. I like getting my kids ready in the morning. So certain days it goes very well. We're out of the house by 7 o'clock and we're at school on time. But there's days where it does not go very well. Like today, Wendy lost her shoes. We could not find shoes. And now we were supposed to be on time, but because of the shoes issue, we were not on time. And I was not happy about it. So it's the fact that other days, they are better than others. So you must understand that if I failed at this today, or if I did not do well at this today, so you plan better to say what's going to happen tomorrow. One thing about this motherhood, it's not a job that you can resign from or decide I'm so mad at it. It's something that you wake up tomorrow, you have to have a new plan, because it's still there, you still have to do it. So it's a daily thing. So you just have to find a way around it every day. You can't resign, so forgive yourself and move right along and start. And all your children know you are all your children. When they think of mom, they think of you and you alone, no one else. So you need to understand, I have to say that I have their childhood in my hands. To say when they think of themselves as kids, they're going to think of the time that we have now. So basically, I have to make the best of it, but it's the best of my ability, of what I can, because my parents gave me their best, and I also have to give my children my best, because I can't do any better than my best. So it's not about comparing, it's not about looking what is being done next door or all of that. Just do what you can the best way you can, and yeah, it works out. other days it doesn't work out, but we wake up and start again tomorrow. What stops women from being the best version of themselves? Fear of the unknown. There's fear, there's self-doubt. Am I really able to? Can I? Most of it, sometimes it's caused by low self-esteem, and the negative self-talk also is like, I'm not good enough, I'm this, when you talk to yourself and you are not so nice to yourself. And also there's things also that impact you to say that were said to you or about you before, and that keep ringing in your head. Maybe you've been told you're not good enough, maybe you've been told you don't look good enough, or all of that. So I've realized that those are limitations that live in our head because of all the negativity that we maybe have encountered, that maybe also keep repeating in our brains about ourselves. So I think we need more positive self-talk. I think that one is critical, because you spend more time talking to yourself in your brain. So you need to be nicer to yourself. You need to be kinder to yourself. You need to build confidence in yourself. You need to talk to yourself in a more positive manner. You need to talk to yourself in an encouraging manner. So think of the words you would like to hear and start saying them to yourself. Even if it's affirmations that you create to actually affirm yourself, to feel, be nice, man. Be nice to yourself. You matter, you are important, you're beautifully and wonderfully made. You need to have confidence. You need to raise your self-esteem. I would just say there's things that people are not aware that when they say it to you, they make you maybe self-conscious. I would just say, for me, the one that I encounter the most, guys, it's not nice. Everyone just sees you and they tell you how fat you are or how much you've gained weight. And in the longest time, I realized how much that affects me. Sometimes you go on diets, not really because it's what I want, but you're going on it because you don't want people always, when they see you, they're like, yo, you've gained so much weight. Yo, Ustula. Yo, this is not how you were the last time I saw you. Yo, when I saw you, it was your wedding and you were so petite. Guys, I don't need to hear all of that, because now it starts making me look at myself negatively. And I can't be the best version of myself when I look at myself. You dress up, you're even looking at yourself in the mirror alone, and all those things just come in your head, and you are self-conscious just from there. So you start the day already feeling negative. So those things to say, other people say it, they don't understand the impact. They don't understand how it seeps into your self-esteem, how you see yourself, how you even talk to yourself. You start finding all these faults in yourself, and it hinders you from being the best version of yourself, because now it's all negativity that's making you self-conscious and making you feel not good enough, less confidence, less self-esteem. And you realize that you need a circle and be around people that are gonna feed you positive energy as much as possible. So you need people that are going to hype you up. You need people that are going to compliment you. Can you just compliment the good things about me? Can you just see me coming in the office and tell me how pretty I am without noticing maybe that I've gained 10 more kilos? I wish people can just be like that. I'm fortunate to have that environment that has led me to a point of just accepting this is who I am. My body is not going to be the same as it was previously. I've had 2 kids. I've had 2 kids. There's been so much changes. I've grown, so I don't expect to look like the the 23-year-old or that, you know, young person when I started varsity. It's not supposed to be like that. So it's all those things. Being the best version of yourself, even in the work that you do, you need to believe in yourself. You need to know that you're doing your best. You need to learn, invest in yourself, make investments in yourself, you know, to whether it means doing extra courses or getting a mentor or shadowing someone, you know. Take that time to actually talk to people and look to say, am I in a circle that is growing me? Or am I in a circle that is now, I'm maybe the cream of the crop? And that's where you know, no, I'm no longer growing here, but I need a new circle that's going to challenge me. So don't be afraid of challenges. You know, to be the best version of yourself is also continuously growing, continuously seeking to learn more, to do more. It can be challenging, but challenges are what gets us to be better, to learn more, versus just sitting in a comfort zone because, oh wow, comfort zones are very addictive. Because that's what, when you're in a comfort zone, that's what you know, that's what you're comfortable with. But the thing is, you're not growing and you are not even exploring or opening your mind to say, I can do better than this. I'm capable of better than this. When you're in your comfort zone, you just sit there and that is all you're giving and that is all you're doing, you know. So if you get out of the comfort zone, that's where the challenges will come. But guess what? They are growing you. You're going to learn a new skill. You're going to see people doing different things. You're going to see different challenges and you are basically going to grow through that. So be mindful of the state you are in. If it's still giving you growth, be mindful of the people you are around to say, are they giving you positive energy, or rather are they bringing positivity into your life instead of pulling you down? Be mindful of the mental environment that you're in to say, what kind of conversations are you having with yourself, because that is very critical. And affirm yourself, zincome, zithande, you know, do your best, and it's okay to want more. So keep investing in being the best version of yourself.